So if you have any ideas of topics that you're working on, and it's okay if you don't know yet, I'm not going to pressure you to share if you're still working on it. But if you have any potential topics that you're working on, you can feel free to share them. And if you don't yet, that's okay. If you don't know yet, that's fine.
Well, I was thinking of covering, well, I'm interested in the short staffing. But I want to know the perspective of the business in terms of like the hospital perspective. Why are they not hiring? What are they concerned about? How much does, budget and money play into that? But even that's kind of too broad, I think. And is that something that's a valid research topic?
I think that would be great, because obviously the short staffing has so many other negative impacts on the hospital. So looking at, the impact of that on patient, satisfaction and patient health and patient outcomes. But I do, like you mentioned, you wanted to look at it in terms of the reason why. So from the business aspect or management aspect, and I think that sounds great. And if you want to move into the patient side, even looking at, well, how does this impact your patient outcomes with short staffing? But also looking at the underlying causes and maybe even looking at how to increase staffing from the business standpoint. But I like your idea of just finding out the reason why, because I've heard about this issue across the board.
Yeah, because part of me thinks they don't want to spend money and it's all about money. But I don't really know. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know the other reasons that might be, from the hospital's perspective, that might be more fair to them, because I'm automatically thinking of negative aspects.
But it comes down to kind of like the bottom dollar. It comes down to the money a lot of times. But you would think that would also, that it would incur more costs in the long run if you're short staffed, because there would be more issues with, safety.
Right.
So that also is interesting to think of. Well, if it saves them money in the long run, because you don't want to have, a lot of lawsuits and litigation.
Right.
Yeah, but I think it sounds great, and maybe there's something more to it, maybe just related to availability of nurses or staff to hire, but I don't know. So that would be something to look into as well. Great, and thank you for sharing that. And I think it would work great. Start maybe doing a little bit of some research with your keywords and see what comes up. Maybe looking at, staffing shortage might be a good thing to look at, or, I'm sure you can think of some other ways of wording it. Great.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for sharing. Any other topics?
I was thinking about doing medication errors in pediatric patients with the use of liquid medications.
Okay. So I think that sounds great too. So you're looking specifically at pediatric patients and medication errors.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Maybe looking at the causes, looking at what, how to resolve that, like looking at solutions for reducing the number of medication errors with pediatric patients. I think that sounds great. And you can also play around with some of your keywords, and I'll show you guys more how to kind of do the keyword search too, so you can get started. And a lot of times you'll start with a few keywords and then you'll change it around depending on what you're getting. But I like pediatrics, medication errors, and then you can kind of go from there.
Okay, because it was amazing to me. I have done some research already, and it was like 40,000 med errors and just outpouring of children in the ER and poison control centers being called because of it. So.
Okay. Yeah, I think that'd be great then. I think that topic will work great. And then I'm sure you'll find plenty of research on it as well. and you said you've already started researching, so that's great.
Thank you.
Sure, you're welcome. So great start on those, and I'm always interested to read students' topics. It's always very exciting to see what students have come up with on the discussion board. So once you have your topic, of course, and part of coming up with your topic is also just coming up with a keyword search.